This video describes how to replace the main circuit board part number 02100000743 on a Haws 1200 series electric water cooler. This video does not apply to models 1210S and 1210SF. Tools necessary are a 3/8 inch box wrench, bit insert style screwdrivers, short and long recommended, T20 and T25 Torx bits, both included, a Q-tip, also included, and a plastic mechanical pencil or plastic pick. Parts included are the replacement circuit board with fuse, thermal grease, button assembly, and a number 6 lock washer screw. Several additional screws are included in case any are lost during the process. Cut-resistant gloves and safety glasses are highly recommended for performing this work. Begin by removing the skirt from the unit by removing the 4 screws from the bottom of the unit. Shut off water pressure to the unit by turning the water stop valve to the closed position. Bleed water pressure from the unit by activating either the bubbler or the bottle filler if one is installed. Shut off the circuit breaker, which supplies power to the unit for safety. As an additional precaution, unplug the unit from the wall. Remove the plastic lower bowl support cover from beneath the bowl by removing the 4 screws. Remove the screw holding the drain to the bowl. Next, remove the water tube from the 90-degree fitting that attaches to the bubbler. Remove the button by pressing the snaps on one end and progressively moving along the button until it is free. Channel lock pliers can help with this task as long as care is taken not to damage any parts. Remove the micro switches from the button by carefully releasing the snaps, holding them in place and pulling vertically up on the switches. Tuck the micro switches and wiring back through the opening in the bowl. Proceed by removing the 2 screws and associated nuts holding the rear of the bowl to the frame members. If necessary, the water fitting near the left side can be temporarily disconnected in order to better access the screw head. Next, remove the screws holding the front of the bowl to the frame members. You can now remove the bowl by carefully lifting it up. At this point, you can take a photo of the wire connections on the circuit board to use for reference when installing the new board. Disconnect the 3 fast-on electrical terminals by pulling straight out from the terminal itself. Do not pull on the wires. Now, disconnect the electrical connectors by pressing on the small lever and gently pulling. Remove the old circuit board by removing the 4 screws holding it in place. Remember to mark the old circuit board so as not to get it mixed up with the new board. The video shows physical differences between the old board and new board, but this will not always be the case. You may now remove the new board from the packaging, taking care only to handle it by the edges or by the large black rectangular power supply. This is to avoid static electricity damage to the board. Set the 2 circuit boards next to each other and locate the dip switches, which are the small black components with 8 switches adjacent to the blue button. Set the dip switches on the new board to match the settings on the old board. Attach the new board to the frame member in the same location as the old board. Use only 3 screws to start, leaving the upper front screw unassembled for now. At this point, apply a small amount of this applied thermal grease to the flat side of the component, which is connected to the board by wires. Attach the component with the applied thermal grease to the front upper hole by using the supplied number 6 lock washer screw. Orient it as shown. Reattach the connectors to the board. Take care to match the wires labeled bottle and filter to the connectors on the board with the same labels. Now attach the wires labeled D4, N2, and S2, S4 to the terminals on the board labeled AC_N. These can be installed either way. Next, attach the wire labeled L1 to the terminal on the board labeled AC_line. Check that this terminal is firmly connected by gently pulling on it. Perform this same action with the fast-on terminals, gently pulling on them to ensure they are firmly connected. If they come free easily, then use the needle nose pliers to carefully tighten the terminal opening. Check that the wires are away from any area where the bowl will be reinstalled. Also confirm that the black plastic part resting on the frame members is fully seated down and back. Reinstall the bowl and attach the front mounting screws first. Immediately follow this by attaching the rear mounting screws. Reinstall the rear mounting screws for the bowl. Bring the button switches back through the opening in the front of the bowl. Attach these into the button assembly from the top. Reinstall the button by pressing on the frame until it snaps into the bowl. Push the snaps in, starting on one side and working towards the other. Check that the button operates freely. Reinstall the bubbler water line to the fitting below the bubbler by pushing it fully about 3/4 of an inch into the fitting. Reinstall the screw attaching the drain assembly to the bowl, taking care not to over-tighten this connection. Now reinstall the plastic lower bowl support cover beneath the bowl by bringing it up and then fully forward. Follow this by installing the 4 screws. Plug the electrical cord back into the wall. Repressurize the waterway by turning the water stop valve to the open position. Check for any leaks. Next, reinstall the skirt and the 4 screws that hold it in place. Turn the breaker back to the on position. Bleed any air from the unit utilizing the fountain or the bottle filler and check for proper operation. At this point, you have successfully installed the PCBA replacement part. If you have any questions, please reach out to our technical support team at 1-800-766-5612 or email techsupport@hawsco.com. Thank you.